Some of these clowns talk about it, but see, I lived it. When that cell door opens, the talking's over. Ain't no guns, ain't no drive-bys. Get your knife. Straight hand-to-hand combat. Peace, blessings, and salutations. My name is Yurima Karama here with another segment of Voices from Behind the Wall. Been getting a lot of feedback and questions from viewers, and I wanted to address some of those. First and foremost, let me thank you for the outpouring of support that you've given, supporting these segments, and really being inquisitive as far as wanting to learn and see what we can do to make changes to the present system. I'm very appreciative. And again, another shout out to Dr. Boyce Watkins and my favorite videographer, John Ray, for their support in making this project what it is and helping to up the quality of the project. I'm very appreciative to all. Some of the questions that some of the viewers have wanted me to address specifically dealt with addressing manipulation in the prison, addressing rape and bullying, and they wanted me to address the drug issue. As far as the rape and bullying, saw very little of that. It doesn't happen at the magnitude, and maybe in the state institutions it does, but not at the magnitude that they would lead you to believe in the federal institutions. Rape and homosexual activity is two different things. So I didn't hear about too many rapes. I did hear about and was in some of the units where guys might have gotten drunk off of some hooch and something transpired in that aspect. And again, hooch is made by the convicts. So that's not something that's outside of the norm. That is made, and people are looking to have their drink and that sort of thing. So I can't really address the issue of rape in that manner because I didn't see that, and I wasn't privy to that. I never heard about a lot of people or individual males being raped. As far as the issue of drugs, they're in the institutions. I mean, it's a part of American culture. So I know that in Beaumont, there were like 6 ODs in like a 6-month period due to heroin use by some of the inmates. I think, and most of them were white inmates. I know that in Leavenworth it was the same way. They've had their share of USP Leavenworth. They've had their share of ODs due to drugs. Drugs are in the institutions, and quite frankly, how they get in through everywhere, through every means. I mean, staff aren't eliminated from that scenario. So, and as far as like manipulation and that sort of thing, I will tell you the mind games that are played, and some of the psychological games that are played. I know that you will, and these are real life scenarios that have happened. And for the conscious brothers, we know why it's done. So in one particular institution, we had a black female staff. She had come transferred from California, and she kind of made it just known that she didn't care for black men. And she kind of let that be known. The psychological games that the white guards would play. We would be getting shook down, and she might be near or within the vicinity. And they might be like, yeah, we ran up in her last night. Yeah, pulled a train on her, that sort of thing, to kind of, and it's always that thing like, yeah, we got your woman. It's basically that's what's not being said, but that's the overall, overall insinuation is like, yeah, we had her. Some of them even say, nah, she ain't nothing. We ran through her. You know what I'm saying? About 4 or 5 of us, and so we would have to, we would have to deal with that, and those would be some of the games that are played. On the flip side of it, manipulation. There have been situations where they might have, especially in your USPs, your highs, they might have a female guard, white female guard working a unit. She tells them that she's being harassed. They put a black female in the unit. She has no problems. Um, and to that extent, those kind of things by the staff, they tend to go on. They tend to underhandedly uh, uh, play the race card on their own. So those are some of the type of manipulation that they pull, as well as the psychological mind games that are played on us. And you have to be. I mean, it's you have to be mentally strong. It prepares you. You have to be mentally strong, because if you're mentally weak, it'll drive you nuts. And so you have to kind of, some things you just have to kind of blow off. And some things you just have to kind of, be like, and on the flip side, we've had some, there, I know I was in Farrington, New Jersey, and had two sisters, two black females, and they were like, we're quitting, because, and they both said it at different times, but they were both like, we can't continue to just keep locking our people in the cell. We just don't feel right about that. And we don't feel right about, the white guards just trying to get at us, trying to, make their sexual advances just so we can be another notch up under their belt, when we know that they're racist. And so I've had these talks with certain women who have quit the system, and they let you know what kind of goes on at their parties, their get-togethers, some of the conversations that are had, and it gets really derogatory, and I have no reason not to believe them. I don't think that they would just bring a falsehood against their coworkers and staff members for no reason. So, and I see the actions of their coworkers and staff members when they're at work. So, these are just some of the things that happen behind the walls. Some of the things that I know that sometimes you get shaken down. White guy with long hair, he'll get shaken down, and I've actually had to file on this issue myself. He's got long hair, they'll shake him down, won't touch his hair. Guy like me will come through, they'll want to run their hands through your locks. And it's like, come on, man. Don't touch my hair. You just, first of all, you don't even have gloves on. What are you doing? And I would have to go wash my locks, and just stuff like that. Grabbing up in your crotch to, real rough. And they know what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? So it's that kind of things, those underhanded kind of things that they do, and they justify it, because again, it's a kangaroo court system, so you really have nothing coming. So you just have to, some of it you just have to bite, some of it you just have to take, and you just have to let it be a building block for your character and personality. And that's kind of what it was for me. So Yurima Karama, Voices from Behind the Wall. Thanks for the outpouring of support. Again, you can find me. You can hit my webpage at www.yurimakarama.com. You can friend me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. My album, My Testament, Volume 1, You can find that at Amazon, iTunes, Spotify. I also have a new EP coming out with about 8 songs on it. I will give you more info on that. Thanks to Dr. Boyce Watkins again, and my videographer, John Ray. You can also check me out on my YouTube channel as well, Yurima Karama 1.
Testament, I'm on one. Give you the treatment, represent to a further extent. It's the first volume of my testament. My testament.